Editorial spreads are big, bold, and beautiful. If you ever wanted to see wonderful examples of type hierarchy and blocking of elements, take a look at your local magazine rack. Their use of white space to their big, bold photography, editorial design principles can easily be adapted into digital designs and websites, so learning the art of editorial layout design is essential for any aspiring designer. Today I'm going to be in InDesign to create an editorial spread for a client. I wanted to show you the process of blocking an action in a little more detail, and showing you an editorial design is a great way to show you that. So let's get started. You will notice I'm using the grid system when I start to think about this layout. It helps guide me toward places I can put content. Content placement is not random. There's a rhyme and a reason for each placement. In this layout, I will have 3 columns of information, each with its own photo and title line. The amount of content will be about this length. I place filler text in the columns so I can play around with spacing to see how much room that text will take up in the overall design. With all of this information I am having toward the bottom, I'm wanting to need to entice and draw in the viewer to read my content. The best way to do that is a nice eye-catching headline and perhaps a photo too, as long as the photo adds to the theme and does not make the design look too cluttered. I am adding a black background to match the darker background photo I selected. This will also help me use color as an attention-drawing element in my headline, as colors tend to pop out much stronger on darker backgrounds. This does mean I need to switch my body copy from black to white text to add enough readability and contrast to that typography and type. The headline placement and font choices are where you should spend most of your time. Finding the right font pairing takes experience in knowing what feels right and what has paired well in the past. There's also a feeling you need to match this design with. Who's your target audience here? If it's a woman, then take that in consideration when making your font choices. Perhaps a softer font choice may work better here. When you have large blocks of information, it can help to have a headline or a photo to help the viewer know what type of information is being contained in that long block of copy. Also, finding the right cropping for each photo is essential. You do not want a photo to have too much detailed or complicated information that takes away from the other main elements. Try zooming into important details of the photo instead, and cropping it that way. The less information we give the viewer at one time, the easier time they will have to absorb the content. When I have solid colored backgrounds that take up a large space, sometimes I find it necessary to add a little bit of texture. This can add a richness and complexity to the design, but be careful not to overpower with a texture, as it can be easily done. If you're seeking a flat, super clean design, texture may not be needed. It all depends on the desired effect and feeling that you're going for. Headlines that are longer can use dividers or bars to help the eye further break down the wording. In this case, I'm using a thin bar and a graphic element toward the top to do just that. Finding ways to make an editorial layout impactful and enticing is your main job as a designer, no matter how much information you have on there. In this case, I'm making a 2-tone spread with a high contrast black and white side. The key to a great layout design is balance. Strike a balance between photos, text, and other design elements. Blocking out your design ahead of time can help you manage all of this.